We'll go through the pre-event information. This is all the fun stuff. Required equipment. Then we'll go into our course information because there are some changes to the course this year. And then we'll finish off with some lovely stories from Scott Wimpy and Steve O'Keefe, which will send you out there hopefully ready and raring for the event. Okay, before you get going, we need everyone at pre-event registration to bring along signed waiver forms. No forms, no gear collection. Teams will receive their shirts and timing bands and bibs on registration. Please know your team name, and only one person is required for the pickup as long as they've got everyone's signed waiver form. You can download them offline and sign them and bring them along. Okay, pre-rego locations. For all teams, Friday the 14th of July, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m, Mudgeeraba Bowls Club. You can get to the Mudgee Bowls Club on Somerset Drive via exit 79. It's quite easy to find. The 96 changes will happen on Saturday the 15th of July, 5 a.m. to 6:45, and we'll kick off the event at 7. 48 schools can pre-register on the 15th from 9:45 to 10:30. Opens are 11:30 to 12:30. Location Numbamba Hall on Narang Moolumbar Road. 96 start line location is Mudgeeraba Bowls Club, 1 Somerset Drive, Mudgeeraba. Exit 79 is usually the easiest way to find it. 7 a.m. from the Bowls Club for our start. This is our new start line for this year. You've got the Bowls Club here for pre-rego. Competitors will gather in this area here, and our start line will shoot out through here. With your parking, there will be a drop-off zone in front of the small rugby league field. It's a drop-off only, and then you've got parking which will close at 6:30, but we've got all this parking around the back. So you come in through here and you park all the way around here. We've got plenty of parking, but it will close at 6:30 for the event, so it pays to get in nice and early. Uh, 48 start line location, Numbamba Hall, Narang Moolumbar Road. Access from various exits from Narang, or if you're coming from Mudgeeraba, Wurrungree. If you're not sure, ask Siri. Okay, the 48 start at Numbamba Hall. Schools will start at 11 a.m. and opens will start at 1 p.m. Parking for that event as you go past the hall. This is where our start line, that will close for each start and will be closed all the way down to Chester's Road. So you come down past Numbamba Hall, and then parking is in here. Support crews. Teams communicate your estimated arrival times at checkpoints. Track your team. There is an available app that we will be releasing, but it's only via Android. We still have KML tracks. You can still track your team via KML tracks, but we will via our website and whatnot let people know the name of the app, and you'll be able to actually track your actual teams via this app. Hopefully next year the Apple one will be ready. Teams are limited to 1 support crew vehicle per team. This will be monitored, especially at Polly's. It's a very tight area for parking, and we really ask if people can sort of, once the start happens, just hang around, listen to what we have to say, and then wait for your calls. Now, something we have to say is, if you're found driving to checkpoints that aren't support crew checkpoints, unless you're there to pick someone up from a withdrawal, we don't appreciate, because the roads are quite narrow and hard to get into. Can be disqualified if we keep catching teams dropping into these checkpoints when they're not needed to be. They're just checkpoints for timing. We have 4 support crew checkpoints for the 96, and we have checkpoint support crews for our others. So if we can just ask people that, unless you're picking someone up from a withdrawal, that you refrain from driving to all the checkpoints. We have at the Bowls Club, once the start happens, all support crews, if you hang around till 7:10, and then we'll go for a briefing just to give you an update on everything. There are 4 support crew checkpoints. That's number 4 is, one is at Polly's at checkpoint 4, sorry. Checkpoint 6 is Numbinbar Hall. Checkpoint 8 is Armyland, and checkpoint 11 is Calibrabar. 48 schools, compulsory support crew briefing will be 11 after your event, and there are 2 support crew points for our schools only. Armyland, which is checkpoint 8 there, and then you've got Calibrabar, which is there. The support crews for your 48 open, the only checkpoint they have is Calibrabar. Another thing we ask is that each vehicle that comes in isn't one of these. We prefer you just to come in a normal vehicle and have a 3x3 tent at the back of your vehicle, not beside your vehicle, but at the back. Because the parking is pretty tight, we've got to be fair to everybody, so we don't want the people coming in with the big Winnebagos there and having a good old holiday while they're waiting for someone to show up. Team rules. Checkpoints. You always have to scan in as a team. You cannot continue as a group. You cannot continue on to out of the checkpoint until you've got all your members with you. You need to remain within 100 metres of all team members. If you have to withdraw at a checkpoint, you fill out a withdrawal form, contact your support crew. If unable, ask the checkpoint volunteers and they'll assist by contacting our command centre, and then our command centre will get onto your support crew. This year, there are no 2-person teams. You have to have no less than 3 members in a team. If there is less than 3 members in a team, you'll have to wait until another team that is coming through and they are willing to take you on as another team member. If not, you just have to wait until someone is. If no one will do it, then unfortunately you have to withdraw. Rescanning. If you rest at a checkpoint for longer than 20 minutes, we ask that you go back and rescan, because the tracking system will be already tracking you after that 20 minutes, so it'll be assuming that you're already on the track. So for timing reasons and not locating where you are, we get you to go back and scan through a second time. Compulsory equipment. You need your high-vis safety vests, a waterproof jacket, hydration bladder, a really good head torch, and this is a very important thing. A lot of people go out there with the cheap head torches and they're walking along the track, and then you can't, they run out of battery, and then you're up the creek without that paddle. So head torches are really good. You'll have your race bib, which has the emergency number on the inside of it, and a P-less whistle, so just in case you do miss out on your friends and you've got to have a bit of a blast there. Mobile phones. We have been advised that at least one person in your team, if they have a Telstra phone, because that has the best coverage on course. A first aid kit and the good old toilet paper. Everyone must bring their toilet paper. We'll discuss that later on. Okay, dates to remember: 30th of June. All team profiles will be locked on this date. All up-to-date information, no access to change details from this point, and all your minimum fundraising amounts are due. School Cup profiles will close on the 23rd of June, this Friday. Now, the fun part, the Kokoda Challenge course. There's a few changes this year, so a few things you need to keep an eye out for. These things will be marked out on the course. They try to mark them every 100 metres, so keep an eye out for those. We also have glow sticks will be marked at certain points if they work. And then this year we've added a few extras. When you go through Armyland, there's a couple of points in there that you really need to take notice of where you're walking. So we will have these beacons placed in those areas. So when you see these, it's something you need to take note of, okay, due to the changes in our course, so keep an eye out for these. And also these signs, keep an eye out, especially watch where the arrows are, so you know where you're going. Because there are some twists and turns, and Last thing you want to do is walk in the dark and miss one of these. Okay, that's the old track, and this is the lovely new one with a few changes in it. Okay, this time when you come out of the Bowls Club, you won't go right like you used to in the past and go that way. You'll actually go left. You'll come down in a parkland, and then you'll come to a water pipe. You'll go across a creek crossing, then straight through an open paddock into the Hinterland Regional Park, which will bring you out to Hardy's Road, and then you follow the street signs up to Baraka Court. Baraka Court is the last of the street, and then once you leave Baraka Court, you head into the bushland there and then make your way through to Mount Nimmo Lodge, which is about your 12k mark. Now when you leave Mount Nimmo Lodge, you'll come out this area of Tellerwood Road. We're actually asking people to refrain from night training there. We've had some feedback from the local residents that late night training is setting off all the dogs in that area, so they've just asked if we could refrain from night training in this section here, please. Once you go through here on the course, you'll actually come out through Moffat's Crossing down to Austinville Road. Okay, when you come into checkpoint 3, this area here is very narrow. All the roads and everything are very narrow. So if anyone withdraws from this area, we will actually have a bus. Our Kokoda bus will be stationed here, and they will withdraw anyone that has to come out of the event back to Mount Nimmo, and that's where they can contact their support crew. There is no mobile phone coverage in this area, so to save having people driving in and out of this, we will extract everyone back to Mount Nimmo Lodge. Now when you leave checkpoint 3, you'll head up Fairview, and then when you get to the top of Fairview, there'll be a sign here saying please call your support crew now. So you can make your phone call here, and then that way all your friends and that who are sitting at Robina having a nice cup of coffee and relaxing, having lunch, or sitting in event cinemas watching a good movie, can make their way out to Polly's Kitchen. And then what they'll do out there, they'll give you a tag when the support crew arrives, and you'll have a 2-hour time limit, but once they get here and by the time you get out to there, it'll be all ready to rock and roll. When you leave this checkpoint here, you can only go left out of there as well, because at this moment in time, Springbrook Road is still closed. Then you'll get to go up over Polly's and down Page's Pinnacle, down into the Enviro Centre. If you're still out there training, you'll notice there's some major washouts in this area here. The foundation this year is actually funding the repairs of these washouts so we can keep this course in the main event. So I think on the 26th they'll actually start repairing this, so just be wary that there will be heavy vehicles and that on that fire break. So we need to get it fixed so it's nice and safe for you guys during the event. But if you're out there before then, just be wary of the washouts. As you can see, that's how deep some of them are in the middle of the track. Okay, when you come out of Enviro Centre, instead of going down the Waterfall Creek circuit, you'll now come down Tagablum Break. 96 guys will come down Red Hill onto Chester's Road, and then you'll hang around, you'll do a loop into Nummumbar, which is what you usually do. And then when you leave Nummumbar, you'll come out through the Waste Centre like you have, up Chester's Road and back up Tagablum Break. Alright, that's you leaving. All the 48ers, when they start, you'll actually go up the main road to Chester's Road and then go straight up Tagablum Spur Break. And then when you get to Enviro Centre, checkpoint 7, it's the same course across the bridge, and then you head up towards checkpoint 8. We will hopefully, when you come into Laurie Bird's place, there'll be a step over where you'll come out of the property and you'll come up to the fence line. There'll be a set of stairs to step up and over the fence, and then make your way up to checkpoint 8 to Army Land. The toilet talk. Every year we have to have a chat about portaloos, toilets. We go to a lot of trouble of supplying toilets around the course. Unfortunately, in the past, some people haven't quite made it, and they've had to do their business on the side of the road, someone's front yard, in the bush. This shovel, I'll actually show you one. This is a good tool to take with you this year. If you need to go to the toilet, duck into the bush and cover it up. When you go into Army land, there'll be extra toilets put in there because they really do not like having to go out and pick this stuff up because they hate it so much they make me go out and pick it up. So even though it's a bit of a joke, we're putting extra toilets out there this year so people won't have to hopefully have to run off into the bush. Or fly off. The new Army land. In the past, you would have gone straight down here. Unfortunately, this section of the road is gone. So now you get to come down here to gate 22 and you go straight into the bush and head down. So it's a nice little steep walk down here all the way to checkpoint 8A, which is at gate 19. You'll then walk from here around to checkpoint 9 up through the grenade area, and then to checkpoint 9, and then back to 3 ways, which will bring you out the same old way. This has added probably an extra 6.5 Ks to your day, but we have lost it in other areas. Now, if you do have to withdraw from checkpoint 8A or checkpoint 9, we will have a bus situated here, and there'll be a bus situated here. All collections will be at the main gate at Kokoda Army Base, or Kokoda bases. So you will be contacted and then you will be told to meet out the front of here and the bus will bring the competitors out to there. There'll be no picking up inside or up along this road. The Army has requested that we keep all our pickups in one zone so it's safe for people to get in and out. Once you come out of Army land up this nice hill, you'll head to checkpoint 10, Sid Duncan Park. And when you leave Sid Duncan Park, a lot of this area here to Hellfire Pass is residential, so we do ask you to respect that if you are walking in the night that people are still trying to sleep in this area, and if you could be quiet, we will actually have toilets situated along here as well. So if you are busting by the time you get from there to there, we'll have some toilets in here as well, and then you'll head down Hellfire Pass and head towards checkpoint 11. Checkpoint 11, another support crew checkpoint. You'll come into the Rural Fire Brigade. Then once you've had your rest there, you'll head down through. This is another change in the course. You used to head down to Crystal Springs, but now you'll come to Nathan Valley Road, which is an old 2011 part of the course, and then you'll come down Nathan Valley Road. There'll be a traffic control point here where you'll cross the road, walk down the easement into checkpoint 12 at the State Forest. Then once you come into the State Forest, there'll actually be extra toilets situated here as well. You walk through into checkpoint 13 and then you're on the home straight. Then you come out of checkpoint 13 and then it's the lovely Nerang Velodrome, which is your finish point. So if you're looking for Nerang Velodrome, there is limited parking in the area. There are areas nearby that people can park in. There's tennis courts here, there's a car park here. So there are areas, but there are yellow lines in this area, so be wary of those yellow lines because I'm sure council will have parking people out on that weekend. You can get to this area mainly via exit 69, good old 69. So you can get off there if you're coming from the north, or you can get off on the other side, up past Mr. Frosty there. Rightio, that's me, the boring stuff over and done with. Hopefully you all know where you're going now. I'm lost, but that's all good. I'll call on Scott Wimpy to come up and give you some information on blisters and strapping and his experience of the Kokoda Challenge. Thanks, Scott.